Hello, my name is Edward King, and I'm just making this video because a few of my techie friends online have asked me, what exactly are you running for a computer? And well, it's essentially, I did have a video a couple of years back of me unboxing it. It's a Dell. It's back in the day when the Studio XPS used to be the computer to have, and when the X58 motherboard was the latest craze, and back in 2009, I got this computer and on a very very good price. It's really held its value, and definitely has proven itself as a performer. I don't know how well those stats actually will show on the video. We're getting some strange effects. It almost looks as though the the monitor needs to be degaussed, even though I'm running a flat screen here, but 27-inch flat panel monitor. Uh, but I'll just read them off just in case they're not that clear on the camera. It's an Intel processor. That's the Bloomfield i920. Uh, the standard rating is 2.67 gigahertz. I had it bench tested. It's running a little higher than that at 2.79 gigs. So I really can't complain. The installed memory is definitely 24 gigabytes of RAM, and it says it's a 64-bit operating system. Uh, I'm hoping at some point to get my hands on the Windows 7 Ultimate because it's probably dropped considerably in price by now, considering that Windows 8 is out now and a lot of people are using Windows 8. I don't really much care for Windows 8, and I'd like to get my hands on a legitimate copy of Windows 7 Ultimate for my next build. Uh, this PC has been modified considerably. Uh, the it went from just having one CD DVD ROM to two, and then I had to unplug one of the CD DVD ROMs because I ran out of power supply. Can you believe it? For extra, I mean, the motherboard can take extra hard drives, but I don't have the power supply. I'd have to change out the power supply, and I'd have to probably go to Dell for that if I wanted to put in any more hard drives. And as you can see, the Windows Experience Index doesn't really look that great. It's 5.9, and I'll show the reason for that in a moment. That has nothing to do with the great memory. The Kingston HyperX memory serves me very well, or the really above standard processor chip that I have no complaints with this Bloomfield i920. It served me well over the past few years, and I mean, considering what it is and when it was purchased, it's very nice. And I'm not developing games or anything like that, so I've got more than enough memory. I mostly handle text files, social networking. I don't even play around with HTML like I used to, nearly as much. I don't build websites like I used to, or any of that kind of thing anymore. But I just I'm very happy with the X58 motherboard and the LGA 1366 socket. However, the 1-year-old is scrapping with the 3-year-old almost every day now for the 3-year-old's PC. That's right, the 1-year-old knows how to point and click, use a mouse, and brings her much happiness using a computer, so good for her. The 3-year-old really does prefer the 5-year-old's computer. The 5-year-old really does prefer mother's computer, And I think you're getting the picture. Um, so mother's definitely not going to move down to a lower standard PC. So she's going to want something that tops hers. Well, that points to my PC. If I'm going to get a brand new PC, it's going to be for me. So I've been playing around with the idea a little bit at a time. I can't really just up and lay down, thousands of dollars for a PC, all at once, kabang. But little here, little there, and eventually I will build myself a good PC. But the pressure's on. I'm really surprised. I didn't expect anything like that, at least for another year or so. But Marley is proving me wrong, and the pressure's on. And not just from the 1-year-old to the 3-year-old, but the 3-year-old to the 5-year-old, the 5-year-old to mom, and of course from mom to me. That's how it goes. One moment, please. Yes. Okay. So, I suppose maybe what I should do is show you why my Windows experience thing is so low. Um, oh, wrong way to go. Uh, Advanced system protection. It's been so long since I've been here playing around. Performance information and tools would be in here. There we are. A processor says, at calculations per second, it's got a subscore of 7.4. That's wonderfully good. The highest you can get is 7.9 on the Windows Experience Index. 7.5 for the RAM. So, I have my RAM maxed straight out. This is as good as that can get. And I imagine all there is I could have gone up to, I think it's called the 1866 speed or whatever, but I'm using the 1600. And it's more than adequate for my purposes, my needs. Um, and the same would go for my graphics. I'm not like a hardcore gamer, so I don't really have to worry about anything higher than 6.7 for gaming graphics, or 3D business graphics or anything like that. But you can see the problem here is my disk data transfer rate at 5.9, and that's because I'm running a 1 terabyte Samsung 5400 RPM hard drive. The irony is that if I were logged into my SSD, you'd get a much better rating. But I'm right now logged into my old workhorse side, my technical sign in. It's kind of funny. I have a technical sign in, and then I've got a domestic sign in, and then I've kind of got an experimental SSD. I guess you could call it gaming sign in, which is registered in my wife's name, and I'm going to be giving that to my wife because I have a Windows 8 operating system on that one. And just basically I'm just associating myself with Windows 8 so that I can set it all up for her. When I pass the computer on to her, she'll be using Windows 8. She's much younger than me and likes to stay abreast of these things, so I'll be handing that off to her. And rightly so, because right now she's currently using the Windows Vista, which I've heard is going to expire at the same time as Windows XP, and I don't even think there's a year of support left for Windows XP. So Vista and XP are a thing of the past. Vista didn't even give nearly the headaches that Windows 7 gave me when it came out, and I kind of miss it. But it's going the way of the dinosaur, along with Windows XP, and the young wife is going to need something, to stay abreast. So she's just going to jump right over Windows 7 and dive right into Windows 8. And I think she's going to miss her Vista. She's quite happy with it. But what can you do? Can't stand in the way of progress. Her operating system is, about to lose support. It's okay with the children for their needs and their purposes. Windows XP will be fine for them for the time being. But yeah, she's going to need a new operating system, and so I'm hoping that she'll adjust to Windows 8 when she gets it. For me, in my next build, and that's it, I'm going to be forced to build. So my next build will incorporate, I hope, Windows 7 operating system. And from there, I think what I will do is I'll get off this Intel trap. Or not Intel, but Windows trap with the operating systems, because frankly, yeah, I really take that back. I don't know why I confused Intel with Microsoft, but yeah, I just there's always another operating system coming out, every 3 years or every 2 years or sometimes every year. And I think I'd like to learn how to use Linux, even though, yes, you have to install your own drivers all manually and configure it all manually and all that other stuff. It's still very appealing. And so I'd like to make at least one hard drive on there where I get more familiarized with the Linux operating system. But that's what's holding me down here to 5.9 is the old clunker hard drive, and I think it'll be a good storage drive for the wife. But her main sign-in right now, I have 3 different operating systems running on this PC. I have Windows 7, Windows 7 Professional, and Windows 8 on this one PC. So, of course, on different drives. But nonetheless, yeah, that's what will be happening here. I think on my build is I'll have Windows Ultimate. Anyway, the daughter is up, so at least one of my daughters I hear. Well, hello, Shiloh. And good morning. And yeah. Anyway, I'll have to show a little bit more of the goodies in this thing. I will say, though, that the 1366 definitely was a nice socket. The X58 motherboard is a good all-purpose computer motherboard. And, I'm basically just being forced to progress, because everybody here in the household wants a better computer. Save one, she just wants a computer, so she doesn't have one yet. So yeah, the Hewlett Packard will go to the 1-year-old. I think it has like 512 megabytes of memory. So that gives you an idea as to the age of that one. But the Windows XP works on it just fine, and although it's a little slow, the 3-year-old loves it, but loves her sister's PC a lot more. Of course, her sister's PC has 4 gigabytes of memory, so that makes a difference. And so she, yeah, really likes her sisters. And then, well, all the way up the line and all the way down the line. So there it is. I'm getting forced to move up the line myself. One more thing. I'd like to say that thank you very much, Intel, for helping me make my decision. Intel took so long to actually move on the IBE, that's the Ivy Bridge LGA 2011 chip, that now they're going to lose money on it real big, because from all the reports I've been reading, they're expecting approximately about $1,000 for this chip. What a joke. I don't think very many people are going to buy it. And the reason for that is because of Haswell, which is due anytime alongside the Ivy Bridge. I know they're going to try to manipulate it and really control its release, but they're going to get a real kick in the derriere if AMD comes out with anything soon. And wow, you guys, you took too long. I mean, you took years from your LGA 2011 Sandy Bridge. And so the Sandy Bridge is now very affordable, and I imagine it's even going to be cheaper by the time the Ivy Bridge chip comes out. And the Ivy Bridge chip is only going to give you, and I don't know why it shouldn't, but it's only going to give you about 10% improvement in overall performance. So you're going to pay double for a chip that only gives you barely, and that's, assuming you've got all the memory and everything, maxed on it, and the 1866 megahertz as opposed to the 1600, and, all this stuff. Just for a 10% increase, you're going to pay double? I don't think very many people are going to do that. Bad move, Intel. You really blew it. And, after all this waiting and waiting, mind you, I'm glad I did, because I'm still using the 1366. I'm not using the 2011 yet. Man, I mean, the price of the Sandy Bridge is going to have to come down. And it's already very reasonable. I can get a very good Sandy Bridge quad core for around $300. And you want 3 times the money almost for a Ivy Bridge? This isn't going to go over well, folks. This is Intel, you blew it. And that's just it. You really blew it. Unless you're prepared to start selling your Ivy Bridge 2011 Ivy Bridge chip for around what the Sandy Bridge chip costs today, so that you can get on with your Haswell and your other newer inventions. You're going to lose money. Lots of money. And you're going to have a lot of people moving on over to AMD. That's my take on it anyway. So there it is. And I'll probably give a little bit more of the stats on my PC later on. Have a great day. Go. Yeah, one more thing here. I'm doing a splice in. And I noticed I observed the recent video here. It didn't actually show my different stats, so on my performance information. So I'm going to make sure that that's in the lens here this time, and read it off again. It's 7.4 here for calculations per second. 7.5 RAM. The maximum you can get is 7.9, and I'm suspecting that the reason it says 7.5 on my RAM, because I've run thorough RAM checks via the BIOS, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with my Kingston HyperX RAM. It's running very efficiently. It's probably because it's the 1600 megahertz, not the 1866. And seriously, I don't need that. I don't even think that I could physically notice the difference myself in performance with that sort of RAM. And my graphics 6.7. I'm not a hardcore gamer, so I really don't need anything beyond 6.7 in the graphics department. I don't think. It serves me just fine. But you can see, here it is, right down here, 5.9. This this is what is dragging it down. And of course, the way the whole Windows Experience rating scale works is it's based on your lowest sub score, right? And and if I was signed in on my SSD, you'd see different results, of course. But that's what it is on this particular login. Now the other thing that I wanted to show you, not this, is essentially my computer. The various operating systems that I have are not operating systems, but hard drives. Not counting the system reserves, just for security. But the Windows, the Western Digital 2 terabyte external drive is very handy for documentaries and home movies and things like that. And I really do enjoy using that. I think the wife is going to inherit the 1 terabyte, which would be my local disk C here. It says 931 gigabytes, but I think we all know how that works. Yeah, so it's technically 1 terabyte. As you can see, capacity 1 million, blah blah blah. Okay, so it's definitely 1 terabyte. And my overflow, I essentially use just as a catch-all and for sorting, and then the stuff I don't want, I throw out, and the stuff I do want gets moved onto my more permanent drives. See, it's only 232 gigabytes. That's all I'm using that for. That's Marley in the background, and then my secondary drive here. My secondary drive is a 500 gigabyte hard drive with my other operating system on it, my just Windows 7, not Windows 7 Professional. And then, of course, there is local disk J, which is my it's my SSD. See, it's just it's actually for my wife. I purchased it for my wife for her Windows 8, and it's only got 28.5 gigabytes of space on it. But that's really all she needs for her active part of the drive. And it has very large page file. That's what's taking up all the gigabytes right now. And the speed is phenomenal. That's all I can say. It's phenomenal. I definitely will be installing an SSD in my home build whenever I get around to building that, and that's the way of the future. Everybody's going to be going SSDs. These physical hard drives are really vastly becoming a thing of the past. Hold on a moment. I got to check my 1-year-old. Hi, Marley. How are you? Is that a good juice? Yeah? Is that right? Okay. That's good. Just want to see how you were. Yeah, that's my 1-year-old there in the background. And she's the one that's really showing an interest in the Hewlett-Packard, which is just right for her and her age. And it's perfect for her. I mean, if she shows that much interest, if she can point and click a mouse, and she loves the PBS educational programs, why not? Why not let her have it? Her age shouldn't be working against her. She's going to be 2 in August, so if she wants to familiarize herself with using a computer, I think probably she should. And maybe by the time she's 5, she'll be a computer genius. No, but anyway, this is what I'm running. a bunch of hard drives and operating systems on the Dell Studio XPS, which is a really good all-purpose computer, and I know they don't make it anymore, but that's okay because what I'm about to build is going to knock the socks off what I'm running right now, and that will be incorporating the newer quad core, and it looks like Intel made my decision for me. I'm going to go with the old Sandy Bridge after all, instead of the Ivy Bridge, because they just really want too much money for the overall, increase in performance. It's just I'm not going to pay double for only a 10% increase in performance. There's no way, or triple for that matter, almost, because by the time it comes out, the Sandy Bridge is probably going to be 1/3 the price as the Ivy Bridge. They're estimating at around $1,000 for their quad core, and their hex core is going to be maybe about $200 more. That's insane. That's insane. After making us wait this long, man, Intel is really about to lose a lot of money unless they can pull another rabbit out of the hat real fast. I don't see it happening, but because Haswell is about to be released this year too, which blows the doors off anything with its Tri-Gate. See, that's what I wanted, was the Tri-Gate transistors. But I can wait. I can buy the Sandy Bridge and wait until they're selling the IBE for peanuts, because that's what they're going to have to do, and they're going to wind up doing that very quickly, I might add. I'd say maybe in 3 years you could pick up a Haswell IBE chip for maybe around $200, a quad core, maybe a hex core for $300. That, seriously, because that's how badly they fooled around and procrastinated, and they took too long. All right, there it is. Just that gives you a rough idea of what I'm using for a PC. Have a great day. God bless you.